Today's December. It's probably like around the 7th. I have to verify that. Yeah. I tried to verify that, but I couldn't. Anyway, I'll do it before the end. But I wanted to get Bonnie in there because she was looking. All right, look, I have. All right. I don't know if you can see it, but I have went to the top of my tower, and I did put a deck up there. Here, Bonnie again. And so I just have to put one more rail across there just for like slight safety purposes. But I was up there yesterday, and obviously, and so, but I think what I'm gonna do is go up there like, okay, and I'm gonna talk about the tale of two screws. These two screws right here. All right. I'm just walking around. Look, there's my cross. All right, look. All right. I'm actually walking around the whole thing. And I might as well get over here. All right, so now I'm gonna put this thing on pause so I can climb up. Well, actually, look, now I got a little obstacle because I put these two posts in last night. See, so now these ones will actually support. Okay. See, they will then support it from the hurricane. Okay. And that makes it like a T going out that way. All right. But anyway, I'm just gonna take this up to the top. So I'm gonna put this on pause. All right, now I'm getting like to the very, very top. This is the very, very top right here. Okay. Now, look. That's as far as I can supposed to go that way. Now, look. Okay, so this is the way I'm facing, right? Look, I ain't got no rail behind me. Alright, I gotta put that one on. But all right, look, man, I'm done. Look. I don't even know what I'm showing. But all right. So I'm okay. Like when I'm looking out right now, I'm seeing this. All right, and definitely don't want to pass out and fall backwards, because if I fell backwards from down here, look. All right, I don't know what you can see, but so I'm gonna lean forward. Look. All right, now this is the tail of these two screws. I'm telling from way up here. Look, I'm above here. All right, look. I don't know if you can see. All right. Look, man, I'm kind of even afraid to be up here. It's so high. Seriously. Now I remember what it was like when I used to go climbing in Virginia on the Raven's Roost. And places like that on the road, that curvy road. That's why I really wanted to drive my MG. I did drive it out there before. I brought it all the way to my son Isaac one time to take it to him. Wrapped it up in a top I got for it, you know, a cover, full car cover, you know. Put a bow on it and stuff. All right, look. Okay, look, I use these two screws, look, see? And these one, hey, look, you can see. All right, here. I don't know if you can see it. Here. Anyway, right now, I'm using these screws right here. All right. And in the past, I have used these screws right here. And they both have the same kind of head. Right? The same kind of receptor is what. Alright. And talk about receptor, okay? I haven't used or thought about that word actually for a while, but there was a woman who said to me one time that her receptor was her ass. All right. I mean, you think about that for a while. Somebody say that to you, okay? And look, her story was that she was abused, you know, so she was raped a lot, and that's what she said. Anyway, look, I can see, like, now when I look down, I can see the top of my roof. Alright, so anyway, look, these two screws, I was kind of looking at them to figure out which ones I thought were better and stuff, you know, and then I started thinking about them in depth. Okay, and as I was holding them, each one, okay, each one of these screws, okay, I could start to, like, feel stuff about them, like my senses were telling me stuff that I actually, like, couldn't see or actually really, like, feel, you know, at a conscious level, but at what appears to feel like a deeper level, which would be below the surface of consciousness. Okay? Like somehow, like I knew more about this one and more about this one differently. Okay? Okay, so I'm just telling you, okay, this is the way my sense impression kind of tells me. Look, for some reason, this one feels like harder steel. Okay, now you can say, well, you can't really feel something like that and tell if it's harder steel or not. But yes, I can feel this. I can tell just by feeling this that this one is harder steel. This one right here, I can feel it, okay? And it feels more like plastic. But these things are just not plastic. But it could be made out of an alloy that is not as hard of a steel as this one. But there's rules, okay? What you have to have, schools have to be able to go past certain kind of levels of testing. And this one, even though it's not as hard of a steel, it's thicker, okay? And so when it goes into the wood, it takes up more space and it gets in there tighter. All right, but this one does less penetration to the wood. Like it won't split it as easy because it's thinner. You can put it at the end of a board better without it cracking the board. Because if you crack the board, then you lose you lose like 50% of strength if the board is cracked, because the board can slip through the nail then, or the screw, and screws stand better than nails. And and I'm using screws, and so because I don't want it to fall apart. Okay, look, screws have a bite, and that's one of the things. Technology of the bite. Okay, look at the two bites. All right, okay, one is thinner, one is fatter. And then I started thinking about like which one would be the Republican and which one would be the Democrat. Okay, like if it was like that. And then I was thinking that the fatter one would actually be the Republican, because all right, the Republicans are pretty sneaky. Okay. They say less government, and stuff like that. But actually what they do is they go into the wood fatter. And they're actually more government, but it's not in the hands of government that's ruled by the people. It's in the hands of the people that are rich. Okay? And that's what it is. If you're going to have government, it's going to be protect all the people, poor people, and make it even fair for everybody, you know, and so it's not a constant domination of rich people. All right, so actually this screw right here, I was thinking would be the Republican, because it's fatter, it goes in fatter. Even though they say they're going in thinner, they go in fatter. All right, but it's the fat cats littering in the world, just like they're littering in their litter box. Okay, this one right here is harder steel. This one right here is softer steel, but it takes up more space. And this one here is stronger, but as far as longevity, it might be that this one won't break apart for rust or anything. This one, I don't know about the rust, okay? I know this screw is going to be good, but it's coated, and they're both coated, all right? But I think the green one has a better coating. And I'm just telling you, okay? Like I have no scientific knowledge about this or anything. Okay, these are just coming from my sense impressions. And if you look at it, okay, they both have also the technology of the second grip. Okay, see right there, second. Okay, the second grip right there, and right there. Hey, no, wait a minute, right there. Hey, okay, and then right there. Hey, right there, and right there. That's the second grip, okay? It doesn't stick out as far as what the actual threads do, but it makes it like a tighter grip at the end of the board, and the other grippers, the spiral grippers, they go in and grab the wood. Then that is It's already covered up and everything. And it's a different place, okay? There's a special part here. And then you got the part right there, it's all thin. All right, now, that's all according to technology. They do that for reasons, all right? And look, they're both built similarly the same, but they have different kind of grippers, second grippers, and this one is thinner, and then this one is fatter, and they both have the same kind of receptor or head, depending on which one, male or female. This one is female. The head is a male, but it's this kind of receptor, okay, that you have to use. I still can't believe that. That was the first time I ever heard anybody refer to their sexual organ as a receptor. Anyway, her receptor was her ass. That's what she said. And so, look, that's the study of these two screws that I did, okay? And I just want to say the tail because, you know, it's a tail because, look, these two screws are made totally different, okay? But they still are for a purpose of screwing wood together structurally so you can make stuff like I'm doing right now. And these are two screws that I have been using, okay? And fortunately, they both have the same receptor, okay? And this is proprietary receptor, okay? But maybe this one might be the generic one. This is a star head, and they come in different sizes, okay? Like you got 5 mil, 6 mil, and they use the European measurement model, or I think it's, I don't know. I can't remember now, but American is standard, this is metric, okay? This is metric. Metric is finer because they do intense. Anyway, it's just different, and that's like just like the difference in the measuring systems. There's also differences in screws. They both accomplish the same purpose, but they use the same kind of technology, but they slightly change it. Okay. And I'm making 2 points. Okay. It feels like I have extrasensory perception when it comes to screws. And I was looking at my phone because it says AEAF lock. I don't even know what that means. And then, anyway, so that kind of, since I don't know what that means, that kind of a killjoy right there. Alright, but that's the tail of 2 screws, alright? They're different, okay? Just like Republican and Democrats are different. And I'm just saying I did my assessment, and then I also did a parallel process, kind of like, just because I thought it's kind of like I wondered which one would be Republican and which one would be Democrat. And then, you know, okay, in addition to that, you know, look, I got a good vantage point from where I'm looking out at. And I'm looking down at everything, like. And I feel like if I fall backward, I could be paralyzed from the neck down because I'd break my neck. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm just saying, like I don't know what I'm actually seeing. And I don't even know what AE and AF lock is. So, all right, so I'm just going to stop this one right here. Okay, because from this vantage point way up here, I did do the tail of the 2 screws. All right, and did my comparative analysis. Okay, with the understanding that I think I have some extrasensory perception because I can feel somehow what these kind of screws are made out of. And my fingertips really shouldn't be able to like tell me what the screws are made out of, but since I have a long history of working with screws and stuff like that, I have like prejudicial kind of feelings about them. Like I know what kind of certain things do, and even though I'm not like a scientist or anything like that and don't have any full-scale documentation, okay, I have sense perception of intuition from past experience and what it seems like to me. And this is exactly what I'm talking about right now. And I'm doing it from a very, very elevated height. Like, this is higher than I ever did anything before. And I can see everything. It's kind of really amazing. Look. Like I don't know if you can see it, okay, but there's like a guy out there in a green shirt, and there's a couple little kids. One of them's in diapers. Alright, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of hard. Anyway, so I can see my fallen tree. Alright, look. Alright. So that's it. And I'm gonna go find out what AEAF lock is. But so this the tail of 2 screws.